Sorry, that was loud. I forgot to hit record.
Got it. So tonight I just wanted to share a little bit about from the book that we're doing with Phyllis. For those who are doing the book club, it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I would not normally pick up a book like this. This would be the hardest read for me ever, to read a self-help book or anything like that. But I really enjoyed this book because he tells stories, and he gives story after story after story throughout the whole book. And so it's really interesting to listen how people learn to approach people in a different way. And so I just wanted to share one of the ends of one of the sections in a nutshell. And it says 6 ways to make people like you. Become genuinely interested in people. I think that's a big thing that we forget. You know, we're always trying to think of what's the next thing I'm going to say. And the one thing I've been doing, you know, when I've been connecting with people over and over, I've noticed that people, you know, they just want that connection and they want to be heard. He talks about this earlier in the book, to use their name, to genuinely listen to them and not necessarily with an agenda in mind. So I thought that was really interesting. And then he talks about smile, that if we smile, that we'll get a lot farther with people than if we go in. I tend to be a frowny face person when I'm concentrating, and I look very angry, and I'm like, I'm not angry, I'm just really concentrated. So I've had to make over the years, conscious effort to put a smile on my face. And I just said this, remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. I know it's mindset for me to say, well, I just don't remember names. I just can't do that. And so that's something I'm working on, trying to remember. But even if it's just looking at the cashier's badge in the store and saying, thank you, Sandy, for helping me today, or whatever, that really makes their day. And it doesn't take anything extra for me to do, just to use their name. Be a good listener and encourage others to talk about themselves. People are much more apt to listen to us if we are showing interest in what's going on in their lives. So if I kind of hit a dead end in a conversation, then I go back to what's going on in their lives and how are you feeling today? And oh, I just saw that you got a new car, or whatever, you know, when I've gotten kind of that huge pregnant pause out of people in my messaging, and I just go back to encouraging them to get them talking again. And he also says, talk in terms of the other person's interest. You know, if they're interested in animals, or if they're interested in vacations, or their children, or whatever it is, get them to talk, and just do more listening than talking. And make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. Is the last, that's the middle section of that book. But if you haven't read it, I would have never in a million years picked this book up before. And that was the other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight, was self-development, and doing things that cause you to grow, and maybe try new things or learn new things. I know Plexus, not just our team, we have a team call, we have, you know, calls that we can invite people to come listen about Plexus and what it's about. But Plexus, the company itself, has a lot of these things as well. And so if our team things are not convenient for you, then I would really encourage you, if you have the time, to listen to some of the Plexus things. So they have a number, and I'll put it in the chat here. Chat. So that they say to text to this number, 753989, train me, to that number. that you can get on their series of training things, and their things are about 30 minutes long. But and as long as you register for them, then they'll send you the link and you can go in and listen to them at your convenience. So even if it's not at a good time for you, but they always have one on Monday night or 4 p.m. on Eastern or Pacific time and 7 p.m. Eastern. But I like to especially do the one at the beginning of the month because they talk about the new product of the month, and they actually have one of the doctors come on and explain what the product is and how it works. And so I think that one's a very valuable tool. And then they have what's called Motivation Monday, and that's every Monday night. And I just listened to one, and they always have a jewel, an emerald, a diamond, somebody that we can listen to. That gives us, just a different perspective on how long it took them to get where they were at and the journey that they took to get there. So there's lots of calls, there's lots of events, there's lots of, Plexus does a book club. Phyllis, who's in our sister leg of Brooks line, also does a book club. So there's different ways for self-development that you can do. And so I have a bunch of notes just from listening to, there was a call tonight at 7, which was a welcome to Plexus call. And then they have a couple of those each week. And then once a month, like I said, they do book club and different things. So I just encourage you to continue your self-development and use the back office. There's just so many videos and PDFs and files. And I try to do a little bit every day to get in and kind of read. And so I did a little research today on some of the weight loss products. And so I'm going to take a minute to talk about those. The first one I was going to talk a little bit about was MetaBurn. And MetaBurn helps to get our metabolisms to speed up a little bit. One of the things I knew, but then I didn't know, I was thinking it had 40 milligrams of caffeine, but it has 80 per capsule. And so, they say to take it twice a day. And for me, I've noticed that I'm having a little bit of trouble going to sleep if I take it too late in the day. So I'm going to try to move that up a little bit. But that just helps us to support our fat burning, reduce our belly fat, which we all want, speed our metabolism, support our weight loss, helps with our mood and focus, and helps with our energy. So there's product sheets on all these things as far as what's in them and how to use them best. So
another thing that I loved is that MetaBurn also helps with your adrenals. A lot of people suffer from adrenal fatigue. So while you're like, oh yeah, it's for sure for fat burning only, it's white stubborn like fat anywhere in your body. And that extra white stubborn fat causes a lot of chronic diseases. So that's why you want to target it, obviously with diet, but also like externally. And then adrenal fatigue is something a lot of people struggle with. So it helps balance your adrenals as well as everything that you're sharing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And did you mention the 5-HTP?
No, I didn't. You want to talk about that?
Are you familiar with that?
Not off the top of my head. I know that that it's a thermogenic, which again speeds up your metabolism. There's botanicals in there. But go ahead.
5-HTP is actually really good to help raise the serotonin levels in your brain. So it's really there for mental health and mood support, which is why I love it. I've taken 5-HTP on my own before I had Plexus, and I didn't notice a huge difference. But this with the Vital Biome has been super beneficial. It says since serotonin helps regulate mood and behavior, 5-HTP can have a positive effect on sleep, mood, anxiety, appetite, and pain sensation. 5-HTP is not found in the foods we eat. So that's a great thing to know as well. I love that everything has like multi-layers, right? So it's
Right.
not like it's like your vitamin D3 does this one thing. like all the ingredients are very specifically chosen.
Right. And so many of the products, this one helps with mood, but this one helps with mood, and this one helps with concentration, this one does, or, so they complement each other, but it doesn't hurt for them to be stacked is kind of a important one. So yeah, and the 5-HTP, she said, comes from a shrub in West Africa. Like, how are we ever going to get that supplement? Then what I always think is the companion to the MetaBurn. And these are the two products. If anybody's telling me that they want to lose weight, I try to get them on these two products, and that's Balance. Balance helps with your blood sugars. It helps keep them balanced. And as long as we're in all these things, is not a magic pill, right? Like, you have to do your part. As long as your blood sugars are stable, it's going to help keep it stable. It doesn't mean that you can eat all the carbs all day long and get great results. It's going to help, but it's not going to, not going to do its part if we're not doing our part. It says cutting out carbs and sugars completely may be nearly impossible for some people, which is why it's important to maintain healthy blood sugars within normal range and do whatever possible to minimize the negative effects of eating carbs and sugars. And that's where Balance comes in. So it balances the unwanted blood sugar spikes, so it keeps us level. Hence the name Balance, right? It helps the body not break down and absorb the carbohydrates. I think this one has the, I'm still learning, so excuse me, but I don't remember which one it is, Julia, that has the can't think of the word. Amino acids. That's the one I'm looking for.
I know Block has something for people with thyroid or something like that.
Yeah. So I have Block in here too. Block also reduces the glycemic index of food, helps maintain your glucose. But Block is take it in conjunction with your high carb meal. It's not necessarily, I don't take it every day. I just take it when I know I'm gonna kind of be off my
or something like that. Yeah. Balance is also, I said it's a great replacement if someone can't tolerate or has like an allergy to Slim, or in combination if they have diabetes, because when you eat any sugary foods like fruits or carbs dump into your bloodstream. So it slows down that drip into your bloodstream, which is super helpful for anybody with diabetes or blood sugar insulin issues.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, were the great weight loss. I always recommend at least the MetaBurn and the Balance when people are talking about wanting to lose weight. Is there one, Julia, that you would recommend if they were only going to take one? Would you always put them on MetaBurn? That seems to be the one that's in all the packages. And
then I would do Lean, because if you MetaBurn, but their meals are still huge, right? And then obviously the triplex. So as far as like a companion to the triplex and the Lean, the MetaBurn is great.
That's what I was thinking.
But one of those things that's interesting is that, like, with all the products, you're not going to burn fat and then just keep burning and burning until you're like gaunt. Like, I think that's the thing we worry about. You also don't have to take MetaBurn all the time. You could take it till you feel like you're at a healthy weight loss, and then you could just take one a day, or you could take it every other month, or during the holidays, like when you're at a healthy weight. But but I love with all the products for weight loss, you're not just going to keep losing weight until you disappear. That's kind of not really how it works. It really helps to rebalance your body in all different ways. And what else was I going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, it says in the frequently asked questions about MetaBurn, it says, is MetaBurn safe for long-term use? And it says it can be used to maintain your ideal shape. MetaBurn can help boost metabolism, support continuing burning fat, and also help continue to support for elevated mood, focus, and mild energy lift.
Yeah.
So if you've got somebody that maybe active is a little too much, the MetaBurn might be
one might be good. And then also, like, if you don't have weight to lose, but you're concerned about carbs and diabetes and all of that, Balance and Block are fantastic supports for your body for those things. Right. Because inflammation doesn't always come in the form of fat. Inflammation is like systemic inflammation can be in your bowels, in your joints, and it has nothing, it's not always linked to weight. So you can be very thin and have arthritic hands. And so you're going to want to take Balance and or Block to block those sugars and carbs, just reduce the amount that's coming in your body, you know, without eating a complete vegan diet of like no gluten, no dairy, no carbs across the board. So there are ways to do it with food. Again, it's like a very, very strict diet. But this helps you maintain a mentally balanced diet where you're like adding healthy things and replacing unhealthy things over time, which I love.
Yeah.
It's not mentally stressful at all. And you've lost a bunch of weight. I've lost weight. For me, my stress levels make me gain weight. And I've looked into that a lot recently of why your body seems to hold on when you're stressed. And when I really work on my meditation and my stress levels and my exercise, you know, not just triple my exercise, but that weight tends to drop off again. And I've lost like 4 pounds since convention, which is where I was like 8 months into my first year on Plexus. And then slowly my weight kind of went like that, but it never went sky high. But now it's just like, it's like rebalanced without me dieting, which is pretty awesome. And it really goes to show like your mindset and your meditation and like where you are at your head and the things that come up in your life do absolutely affect your health. So how can you like look for ways to support your body better? So does everyone want to share a win for the week? And then we can hop off. Thanks so much, Lisa. That was really awesome information. Daryl, do you want to share a win for the week? Besides that you went silver. Oh, I can't hear you. Okay, and you got to unmute.
Unmute. Yeah, I went silver. That was kind of exciting. I just sent a text to Sarah. I was like, "Hey, dude, look what I did." So that was pretty much my big win for the week. Awesome. But Sarah and I are actually planning a really cool event. Am I allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a friend who is starting a nonprofit for the scleroderma community. Actually, all people with disabilities, but she specifically has scleroderma. And we're doing a sort of pamper party for her. And she's going to lead a practice specifically for people of all abilities, yoga practice. And we're going to do mocktails with pink drink and do facials. And yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
That's so awesome. What a treat. And so she has a community with other people with her diagnosis, and they're going to come, or you're inviting everybody?
Well, she's going to invite, we're inviting everybody. So we're inviting people that we know, people that she knows, people who are her current clients, people who she wishes were her clients, people who may be donors to her new nonprofit. So we don't know who's going to show up. We have room in my backyard for probably about 15 mats. So we're going to start there.
That's so awesome. I'm so excited. When's that going to happen?
September 9th. September
9th. Exciting.
Yeah, so if anybody's local and wants to come to my backyard, give us a shout out.
I wish. I'll be there the week before. And then she said you're going out of town for Gold Retreat?
Yeah. Well, it's in between. We're going to Vegas to see Guns N' Roses the weekend before, and then it's our anniversary the weekend after. So we're going up to Snowbird for sort of a staycation.
So gold retreats Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right, those are the days I'm home.
Okay. You should think about it.
I'll just think about it.
Thinking it's going to be amazing. We started planning really incredible things with yoga and a sound bath and like people coming in and working through like mindset and money things. And I'm super excited for the training and the leadership. I'm going to be working on vision boards with people, and there'll just be lots of really incredible stuff and a beautiful home in Bear Lake. So it's not too far for you. So you should think about it.
I am.
Okay, Lisa, what's your win for the week? Lisa non-Criswell.
I wondered which one you wanted. I think just being on vacation, finally, not working, little less stress, working with the animals on the horse farm and here, and just spending a little bit of time with my parents. That's not too stressful.
That's
And then
awesome.
Friday,
You took the week
go to
off of work.
Right, yeah. And then Friday, we're gonna go to Amish country. So
Cool.
we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Should be fun.
That's
I have to
awesome.
drive, but it's okay.
But you're not driving a horse and buggy.
I wouldn't mind. I'm
I actually
learning.
think you would love it. You're trying to
I'm
do
learning
that, aren't you? Are you trying to
horse.
train your donkeys to pull?
I'm doing that. And on the horse farm, I have started driving the horses
That's awesome.
because they're racers. So I'm learning to jog them and train them because we have 4 of them coming up soon and one person can't be jogging all those horses. So he's
Right?
training me to do it. Yeah. So it's fun. It's actually very relaxing.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Sarah,
That's-
if you can turn your camera on, thanks for sharing. If you can't, we'll keep going, but if you can turn your camera on, you can pop on. Lisa Lisa Reed. What's your win for the week?
So I was at a church children's party on Saturday, and I had 2 women come up to me and say, I want more information about that plexus stuff you're doing that I didn't even have on a list, like I never even considered or anything. So yeah, I've been talking to 3 different people this week that are all pretty much ready to sign up, and I got a preferred customer. So
Yeah. That's awesome. We can do a 15-minute messenger party if you want to try that.
yeah, I need to, I was hoping that I could get in one of the groups or something that
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it after.
she and
Mhm.
them have going. So
Yeah, we could do it tomorrow night.
they're doing.
And then figure out specifically what they're struggling with and then put those stories in specifically. People have been loading a bunch of them today, men and women's stories. So that's really awesome. That's exciting. Adrian, we're almost done, but I'm so glad you're here. Do you have a win for the week?
My nephew actually called and said, I want to lose weight. What can I do? And basically got him signed up, not even talking to him or anything like that. His mom actually told him about the weight loss stuff. And so he jumped right in and signed up.
Yay! That's so
So-
exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm excited. That I was hoping to get his mom, but he will work too.
That's okay.
I'm wanting to
Take
get
whoever's
his
ready.
sister. I'm wanting to get his sister because his sister has blood clot issues in her legs and has had surgery, and she had a hard time getting pregnant. And so I want to get her on the gut health
Mhm.
and help her solve all that issue with her stomach and stuff, so she can
Wow.
have another baby.
That's awesome. Let's see if we can find her like a story on blood clots and fertility and see if she'll listen in. That's awesome. Or if you guys want to combine to do a messenger party, we can invite both of them and we can make sure we put in stories that have to do with fertility or something like that. So that's another option too. Yay. Okay. It sounds like Sarah's stuck getting her hair done, which is totally fine. It's going to look amazing. But thank you guys so much for coming. Oh, Sarah said we just did one tonight. It was awesome. And her win is doing a messenger party, which she had tonight. And she said she loved it because people are voting on the polls and they're saying, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I relate to. Like I relate to one of these things, 3 of these things, and it's not intimidating. There's no faces. They're just listening to these 1-minute stories that we're creating. So if any of you guys would love to contribute, we'd love to have your 1-minute story, and I can show you where to upload them. You just record it on your phone. It's really simple. If you look at mine, it just takes like 1 take. I have like 15 because my kid would come in, or one of my kids sitting behind me with his pen going click, click, click. And the dog starts barking and I'm like, okay, take 7. But I did it. So less than 1.5 minutes, preferably around a minute. And then we'll have the story with your blurb on it. And then when you find people that are looking for better health or whatever their symptoms are, you can skim through all of those stories and just forward those right into your messenger party. And all the other graphics are set and created already. So I can help anyone with any of those as well. And it's just 15 minutes, and then anyone can hop in whenever. And you tell them there's a special for signing up. You tell them like all of the stuff's already created. So it's just super, super simple. But for sure, if you're going to host one, you should put your story in there because it would be great for your people to see your story. Even if you're like, would you be open to learning more and hearing my story? It'll be up there with a couple of my friends. So, and then she said in Cami. So Cami is a girl that is my brother, and her brother served a mission for our church, like obviously at 19. So years ago. And, then I like 2018 or something, I had met her in a court in Utah in Cottonwood Heights. And we had talked about gut health, and she had just felt like, I don't know, she said like over a year's supply of Shakeology, but she's like, I'm really interested. I just got to get through all this stuff first. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. Okay. So then I'd follow up. I'm still getting through the stuff. And then I'd follow up, and it didn't really work. And then Sarah's like, I know Cami. I saw that they were connected. I'm like, that's the way. That's the way God's going to help her, is there's Sarah. It's totally fine. And so I love that they have that relationship. And she talked to her, and she's, after several months, whatever, she's open and ready, and she signed up, and she's super excited to learn more about the different products. So we're just really excited for her and her family. Did I miss anything about our story?
Yay. No, that's it. It's awesome because she reached out to me and was like, I'm ready. And that's all it was. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
And you planted that seed 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And it'll come from the person, right? It'll come from you. People need you to show up. They need your voice. So, and if they don't, they'll hear it from somebody else. And you don't want to ever like not tell somebody, and then like 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, hey, I signed up for that Plexus stuff you're doing too. And you're like, what? Because you just were too shy or too worried about what they would think to ask them. So even if you just talk to them and say, I have no idea if this would help you, but if you ever come to a place where you're looking for something to help you with A, B, C, D, I would love to talk to you about it. Or would you be open to watching a video in case like, of anybody that this could help, because I'm looking to help more people. Does anybody come to mind? Or would you hear my story? That works really well for me. Like, would you be open to just hearing my story of why I'm doing what I'm doing? And they're like, sure. Because there's nothing intimidating. If any of your friends were like, would you like to hear why I'm a dentist? We'd all say, sure. Or why I'm a chiropractor. Well, because when I was young, I had a lot of like issues with my back. And so I went to a chiropractor and they helped me. You'd be like, wow, that's really awesome. It's very compelling to have a relatable story. And so just talking to people and even just saying like, hey, it's been a while since I've seen you. I don't know if you know what I'm doing right now, but I'm wondering if you would be open to hearing my story of what's changed for me the past few years and why I'm so passionate about helping others. And maybe someone will come to mind that this can help. And then they can be like, what about me? Or they can be like, actually, like one girl that I've been talking to recently, she was a babysitter at my brother's house in Texas. She said, my dad's totally into that stuff. So I've been trying to like get in touch with her dad, and that's not working. Well, then this week out of nowhere, she said, I had an ovarian cyst and they had to remove an ovary. I really need to figure out how to protect myself and prevent this from happening again. Can you tell me like more about what you're doing? Could this, or do you have anything that could help me? And I was the first person she thought of because I've been making that relationship and that contact and letting her know exactly what I do, not ashamed. And I said it, I said, I don't know if you're looking for anything like this or if you know anybody, but this is what I do and why I'm so passionate about it. And she's like, wow, that's really awesome. And her first thought was my dad is totally into that stuff. But then when it came time where she was at a pain point, she thought of me too. So I'm just super grateful for that. So keep planting those seeds, keep showing up, keep posting, keep talking about it. If you have another skill set like Lisa, who's a hairdresser, for a long time, I'd say I'm a hairdresser. And then I also do plexus. And then I just dumped that because I wasn't looking to hire anybody else as a hairdresser or as a photographer. I wanted to help people with their health. So I dropped the photographer. They can know that. But I say like, I help women or I help families or I help people with their health because I struggled for a long time. Would you be open to hearing more about that? And that to me is who I'm looking to recruit and to help. So sharing about photography is just like an extra, like they can learn about that later, but I'm not trying to build a photography business. So anyways, I hope that helps. Be confident in what you have, be passionate about what you have, and be passionate with the way that you're showing up in your life and for your health, because it affects a lot of people. Lisa's able to take care of her parents and to have some flexibility and to do those things, which is really incredible. And as we all grow, we'll be able to have more of those choices and opportunities to help bless other people in our lives. So good night. Good night. Lisa, thanks for leading and for all that we shared and research tonight. That was so, so helpful. Bye, Daryl. Bye, Lisa. Bye, Adrian.
All right, send me the clip for tonight since I missed half of it.
Oh yeah, I will. The recording. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.